ekwazijo.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zinia and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Woo! As you guys saw in the title of this video, I've been contemplating on doing this video, but I thought, you know what? It is what it is, you know. I mean, this topic have been trending for so long about Somizi and Mohale, and I thought, let me just share my opinion, guys. So what I literally did was I went back and I watched the whole thing, the reality show of Somizi Living the Dream, and guys, there were a lot of red flags in that reality show regarding the relationship between Mohale and Somizi. There were quite a lot, and no one said anything. Nobody said anything regarding that. Everybody just missed it or saw it but didn't do anything. So for me, what stood out to guys was, guys, I know a lot of people say that no, Mohale describes himself as quite a conservative person, a shy person, or you know, and in the documentaries, in many of the episodes, he seemed like he's so uncomfortable to be there, and I could be wrong. I know, but it was just so clear as broad daylight that that person did not want to be there. Whenever Somizi was with his friends, he seemed out of place. It seemed like he didn't want to say anything, you know. Even when Somizi was busy with work activities, he still seemed uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading this person the wrong way. Please correct me if I'm wrong, or if you have your own opinion, or if you had, like, please share it down below. Like, it was so strange. So I saw that it doesn't show quite a lot of the relationship, but it gives you sort of like the build up as to how Somizi was now preparing himself to be a married man. And let me tell you guys, first of all, Somizi then, I think he speaks to his mother about it first, and then afterwards he goes to Tammy Dish. He goes to Tammy Dish and he tells Tammy that Tammy is his friend in the documentary, not in the reality show. He goes to Tammy and he tells Tammy, I'm planning to get married, I'm planning to propose or whatever. You would think that Tammy would get excited. Tammy just rolled his eyes. He was like, what the hell is this girl doing? Literally, you can read off Tammy's body language, you guys, that, yeah, no, Somizi was doing a big whole mistake. And at the time, it just seemed like Tammy wasn't complete. Maybe he was happy, but he knew that it was a wrong idea. That I can tell for sure. He knew that it was probably a wrong idea, because that's what I read from his body language. I could be wrong again, you guys, but that's okay. In the reality show, there was just so many things, you guys, that stood out for me, that was like, nah, this was never gonna happen. And I guess that's why people criticized the relationship from the beginning, because people could see that, hey, but now this guy is really not that into Somizi, and Somizi is just here over the top. And what I also noticed, number one, you guys, with Somizi in the relationship, I noticed that Somizi he didn't really have respect for Mohale in a lot of like scenarios, in a lot of instances. Number one, you guys, there was a live video on Instagram where Somizi was literally cussing out Mohale, hey, saying I saw the video, like it was alive, I think, and my husband and I were like, why does he speak to his husband like that? And I mean, at that time, even if that's how you speak to your person in your household, but now the world is watching, we found it quite disrespectful. I don't know if you think it's okay to call your husband and say, hey, I buy the food in this house, or whatever it is. That's okay. If that's your thing, that's fine. So, and then there was another instance. I think they went to a Met Gala or something in Cape Town, and I think it was a scene where Yvonne Chaka Chaka's son was there, and hey guys, this guy was asking Somizi, so is this your person? While Mohale was sitting there, and Somizi was like, no, he's not. Like, number one, that's disrespectful. Why do you not acknowledge me in front of people? As certain people, yes, I get it. I know some people say, yeah, but Somizi will post him. Yes, we get that. We get it. Somizi will post him. Somizi will acknowledge him as his person. But in some instances where it really matters, he would not. Or just, or not even, he would just lightly disrespect Mohale, you guys, and it will be seen as, no, it's just play, or it's just jokes. But jokes for how long? When your husband or your fiance or your boyfriend is literally gonna say, no, this is not my person. Like, I would be upset. I would be really, really upset, you know. There was also other instances, you guys, where they went to Paris. I think this was the time when Somizi was now proposing to Mohale, and Somizi was on a, I don't know, there was this guy, this friend, like internet friend of Somizi, and Somizi showed a lot of interest. Somizi would literally walk hand in hand with the friend and leave his partner that he's about to propose to, like, in a stretch, in a distance, walking ahead of them. And he would say, no, it's just it's just small stuff like that that shows the disrespect. Do you get what I mean? Like, even if it's just my friend, hell, this is my partner, my friend, this is my partner, this is my soulmate. You need to know, you know. And there was just so many red flags. There was just so many red flags. And not only that, you guys, Mohale, everybody could see that he wasn't into Somizi that much. Now, let's just get into the whole Mohale situation a bit more. We know that Mohale was quite young. He was in his early 20s or just turned 20, I don't know. He was quite young. And Somizi at the time, he was already 50 something. And in that type of relationship, you're looking at this man that has so much money, and you're looking at this person that just reached their 20s. A huge gap. Now, you're looking at the 20-year-old. The 20-year-old has not established, or has not even established who they are as a person. You know what I mean? And now there's this person who's just opening up a whole new world, saying like, come stay with me, come be with me, like, I'll open up here, we'll do this together, I'll open up a company for you, we'll do this for you, quit school, do this, do whatever, like, I got you, you don't even have to work, like, I'll pay for this, that, you won't need anything, let's just be together, let's just travel the world together. This naive 20-year-old will obviously say, oh, of course, please, let's do that. And I think in this instance, I'm not saying Mohale did that, and I'm not saying Somizi said those things, but just reading from everything that's going on, reading their relationship, even looking from the outside in, even on the reality show, it just seemed like Mohale was there, number one, not because he had strong feelings against Somizi, but not because he had strong feelings for Somizi, but it was also very highly influenced by money. Let's not hide that fact. I know, and you know, that it wasn't solely because he was so madly, deeply in love with Somizi, because he wanted to get married. I mean, 3 weeks in, Mohale claims that there was possessive allegations, that Somizi was now being a bit controlling. He had time to run, so he knew at that point in time that Somizi was not the person for him, right? And he let it carry out for so long. He let it carry out for so long. And I believe that Mohale was well educated enough. I believe that he could have walked, but he didn't. And at this point, you guys, you can only wonder, why did he not walk out if he was so unhappy, or if he was just abused? We don't know. Allegedly abused. We don't know, you guys. But all we can say is that there was no longer love in that relationship. By the time they got married, zero love. It was now just a matter of forcing themselves. Yes, they loved each other maybe as people, but being in love? Absolutely not. I know for a fact, or not for a fact, but I could only presume that Mohale definitely didn't see himself with Somizi in the long run, and neither did Somizi. Somizi knew that their relationship would come to an end. I can tell you this because looking at the wedding day, let's just go into the wedding day. Like, even there was so many red flags. I mean, you guys, there was a scenario, or not even a scenario, there was just this part in, I think it was the day where everybody was going to the event, and I think it was the day of the wedding, and it was said that Mohale was crying because of suits not fitting people or whatever, and I think his best lady was at the venue, and Somizi came to them. They were all sitting there. Now this was now Mohale's side of the family, but I don't think it was really family. I think it was more friends and maybe family friends or whatever, I'm not sure. So he walked up, Somizi walks up to them and he's like, how's Mohale? But he's on his phone, not making contact with the people, not looking sincere or like trying to get to know how is he okay, because I hear he had a breakdown, like he was crying, like what happened. He was like, so how is Mohale? And the others were like, no, he's fine. You know, it was almost like a moment they wanted to probably be honest about it, but they realized that they are on camera, or they didn't want to speak much to Somizi about it. And it was just uncomfortable to watch. It was like they were not saying much. They were trying to make it look like Mohale was happy to be at the wedding when he really wasn't. Like, it was so clear, you guys. I don't know, I'll try and play that clip here and you guys can make out of it. Like, maybe I was reading too much into it, maybe there's really nothing going on, but I was like, why? What? You know, it was like and when it came out, because they said that no, he was crying, and when it went back to the Mohale's diaries, Mohale was like, no, I just had like a mini like meltdown because the suits didn't fit anyone, and I was like, okay, but I get there's wedding pressure, you guys. Like, it can be so stressful. Like, a bride can cry literally 200 times on her wedding day because there can just be so many things not going how she planned it to be or how he plans it to be. You know, there's just so many things. But for me, I felt like maybe there's more to it than that story, but I could be wrong. I don't know. There was also another scene, you guys, also at the wedding. Now you guys must remember, when I watched the whole Somizi and Mohale union, I've watched Dineo and her partner Solo, is it Solo, getting married. I've watched Becoming Mrs. Jones. I've watched Babes Watumo and her partner getting married. Like, guys, there's a big difference between Somizi and Mohale's wedding than the others I've just mentioned. The others I've just mentioned had all one thing in common. They were all in love with their partners. You could not deny the love that was there. Number one, when Somizi walked down the aisle, when he got to his groom, when he got to Mohale, or when they got to each other, standing across each other at the altar, they did not make eye contact. Guys, you're at the altar, you're saying I do to someone you're about to marry, and you're not going to make eye contact. Somizi is looking that way, Mohale is looking that way. Like, it was so awkward. It was like, what is going on? Like, it was so awkward that even when I watched it again, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it, the first time it obviously aired on Showmax, when I watched it, I was like, oh, so cute, the wedding is beautiful. It was such a distraction. The gorgeousness of the event was such a distraction that I could not pick up these moments that I went back to and reviewed and rewatched again. Let me tell you, if you go rewatch that marriage with the new set of eyes, or that wedding, you will see the red flags. You will see the red flags. And in the midst of everything, guys, I'm telling you, they're standing there for more than maybe 10 minutes. They're not looking at each other. You know, they're not. Yes, Mohale had his moment when he was trying to cry, or Somizi had his moment where he was crying, I don't know, but when you look at your partner and you are in love, you guys are holding hands. In fact, they didn't hold hands. The priest said, you guys can now hold hands, and so they did that. And guys, it was so awkward. You could tell that I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I would please advise you to go rewatch and tell me what you guys think. So at that moment, before everything else, before the pastor, because the pastor was now telling them to move closer to each other and hold hands, before that moment, or they did at that moment, Mohale asks Somizi something, and I think something of the nature of, will you something, I don't even know what he was saying. And Somizi shook his head and he looked away. Somizi literally looked at the man that he's about to get married to, because he asked him something, and he shook his head and he looked away. And I was like, what did he say? But I couldn't get it. I didn't know what Mohale was asking Somizi at the altar. The next thing that stood out for me was, after that question, there was something else Mohale said. There was something else Mohale asked or said or whatever. And he said, and Somizi responded, and Mohale responded saying that, do you promise? And but with a serious face, you guys, we're not talking about flirtation or trying to be cute. Nix. While holding Somizi's hand, Mohale then, obviously, I don't know what the response was, and Mohale is like, do you promise? And Somizi's like, Then afterwards, Mohale switched up like a Christmas light. He was now more happier, he was smiling more, he just looked more, I don't know if he was trying to convince himself when he was at the altar, I don't know, but something was off there. Something was off. There was no I love you so much or you look beautiful. Maybe they did say that, I don't know, maybe they did, but I couldn't catch that. Maybe I was just looking for drama, maybe there was no drama. But guys, like, the Mohale and Somizi situation is so uncomfortable, and it just goes to show what people will do for love. Not for love, like for money or fame or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Mohale was all innocent and say that no, Mohale went in with it thinking it was just going to be a normal relationship. No, I don't think so. I think the relationship got so worse for Mohale that he was like, you know what, actually it's not worth it anymore. Maybe, but how far out? Only after they got married, things got where he finally got to his senses and it's like, no, I'm moving out, I want to be separated to this man, do you know? So there's a lot of questions, and I'm not going to say yes, Somizi is the villain or Mohale is the villain. They both had bad intentions. We don't know to what extent, but that's not what a relationship is about. That is not how a marriage should be built on. And even when Somizi went to Tami in the beginning and said that, hey, I'm thinking of proposing to someone, the next thing he said was, the same way we get married at home office, the same we're going to get divorced. You don't utter that in one sentence, I'm going to get married, then the next thing you say is, fine, we'll get divorced if it doesn't work out. What? That means you're getting married to get divorced? No, getting married, you should know that, okay, I'm getting married to this person, I don't care what comes and goes, I'm going to stay married to this person. I will fight for my marriage. You know, it's at least this person should be fighting for whatever it is, whatever comes and goes. You know, obviously, it shouldn't be like something that's abusive, sticking out in abusive marriages or anything like that. But you guys get what I mean. I don't really mean that Somizi should have stick it out or Mohale should stick it out if he's not happy. But yeah, no, that union was just based on the facade. It was quite clear from the get-go who was more into who was, and even with the allegations, you guys, even when in the recording Mohale does say that he didn't get money from Somizi at no point in time. I was shocked. I was like, huh? How did you then afford so many things? How did you get to do all these lavish surprises for Somizi? How did you get to buy Somizi body designer bags if you didn't have money. There was just so many things that did not make sense. And I'm not trying to make everything make sense. I'm just telling you what I've observed, but I've seen it in these reality shows and also at the wedding, the 4-part wedding on Showmax. And let me tell you guys, like, it is so clear that wedding was just for that day. It was just an event. Anything before that, after that, was all a lie. It was nothing in between, nothing at all. So let me know, you guys, what you guys think down below in the comment section. And if you know of anyone, I don't know, please share your thoughts. Please share your thoughts. What do you guys think of this? And do you think Mohale was right? I feel like good for both of them for not being in this relationship anymore. Like, move on with your lives, go be with someone you want to be with. Don't stick around, don't try to control someone, don't be that person, you know what I mean? Also, don't be the person that think you're going to just come, try and just suck people dry, or try, I'm not saying Mohale did that, but I'm just trying to, you know, it doesn't end well. It's not going to end well for anyone. Whatever ill intentions you have, it's not going to end well, period. That's just it. That's just my take on this. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel. I appreciate I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much from me to you with so much love. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.